What's good, YouTube? The one and only Antman816 here with a deck profile. I'm here with my night deck profile that I mentioned in my little update video. Okay, so I'm going to start off the video with this. It's just a tier 2 deck. This is a fun build. If you're going to be competitive with it, or wanted to try to be competitive with it, I would recommend the following. Hand traps in the side, evenly match in the side, twin twisters possibly in the side. I would main deck 3 Called by the Graves instead of the 3 limited removals. I will just say that about this deck list. It is a train deck, 3 limited removals just so you see it, and we're going to get into it. And I'm going to explain the thing, so please bear with me. So this may be a little bit of a long video. So we're just going to get right into it. So the OG Knight card, Train Knight, 3 Knight Express Knight. So what he is, he's 3,000 attack, 3,000 defense, level 10 that could normal summon himself, but he'll have 0 attack, and he cannot be special summoned from the deck. So even though they did that because this with Machine Dupe would be busted. You do not play Machine Dupe in your train deck. That is just a given. So he eats up your normal summon, and that's okay. The next is the new one, Super Express Bullet Train. So this has 2 effects. You can only activate each effect per turn, hard once per turn on both effects. If you control Earth Monster, special summon it. If during the end phase of the card is sent to the graveyard, this turn you can target 1 machine monster in your graveyard except for itself, and add it back to hand. It also says that in order to declare an attack with this, you have to detach 2 cards. You should never declare an attack with this unless the only trap you play in this deck is face up on the field. Next, we have 3 Snowplow Hustle Rustle. Now, at first I thought this card was bad, but as I started playing with the deck, experimenting, this card is good. So, when your opponent controls a monster, when your opponent monster declares a direct attack, while you control a face-up, or while you control a card in your spell or trap card zones, you can special summon this card. And if you do, destroy your spell and trap cards, and if you do, inflict 200 per card you destroy. Now, the reason why this card is good in the deck is because you can run Skill Drain, so it's a free big 3,000 beater to summon out, and you won't destroy your spell and traps. But if you don't have Skill Drain out and you trigger, you want to set your schedule cards, and I'll get to that because this will trigger your schedule cards. So it's a good defense thing. And then you cannot special summon any monsters with machines when you do all this. So yeah, there's that. Three Heavy Fate Train Durricane. I like this. So basically what this one does is if an Earth Monster is normal or special summon, you can special summon its hand, but its original attack and defense is half. You can only use the effect once per turn. If this card is detached off an Exceed monster into the graveyard, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. So you make an Exceed monster pop. So like you summon Night Express Knight, and then you summon this with it, make Gustav Max, detach, burn 2,000, and then you pop a card. So that's not bad. That's not bad. 3 of the new Flying Pegasus Stampedes. This is going to be one of the preferred level 4s you play. All of your level 4s are going to be 1,800 attack, so they're all searchable by your field spell, everything like that. So this one here, essentially, is Crane on steroids. So you normal summon or special summon this. You target a machine monster in the graveyard and you can special summon it back in defense mode, but its effects are negated. You can target one other face-up card you control. The level of that monster or this card becomes the level of the other. You cannot declare attacks to turn you activate this effect except with Exceed monsters. You can only use each effect of this once per turn. So that's pretty busted. Then we play 1 rail car. The reason why you want to play this is because with the field spell, you get this out of the deck for free. You can make a make an Exceed monster with it, and then when you detach it, you can at the end phase you can add a level 10. So this is a great going first card because you can run out of your hand really quick with this deck. And so by using this to inflict burn damage real quick to your opponent, getting this to the graveyard, you just search your deck for stuff to keep the momentum going, because like I said, you can really just your whole hand. Some deck lists I saw were not playing this. I am doing it for the lulz. When you use this for an exceed something, it gives that monster 800 attack. So with the filth spell, you're able to get this out and make it level 10, or the fact that there's other ways you can use to make exceeds with this, and it will give it 800 extra attack. So you can just crash into things. Oh, that popped up. Sorry, my camera was messing up. So the non-trained only play 4 cards that are non-trained. We play 2 Malefic Cyber and Dragons. So you play Skull Drain in this deck. If you have Skull Drain face up, last I knew, you could banish the Cyber Dragon from the extra deck to summon this. So it is a level 10 piece of the train that you can summon if need be. You do play the Filth spell. So if you have the Filth spell and this is it, this is just a free boom, 4,000, boom, beat. So I like it. And then because it's all machines, 2 Cyber Dragons. The reason for just 2 Cyber Dragons is you don't want to, you want to see it, but then you don't want it to clog your hand. And just the fact that Mega Fleet is a level 10, so it helps with the exceed, because you really just want to exceed with this deck. You're OTKing with your trains. Yeah. So that's it for the monsters. 40 card deck. So we play 3 urgent schedules. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, special summon 1 level 4 lower and 1 level 5 or higher Earth Machine monster from your deck in defense mode, but negate their effects. So that's cool. They need to. You can't declare attacks this turn except for with machine monsters. Also cool. So if this card is set and sent to the graveyard from through the graveyard, you get 1 level 10 or lower machine monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect to urgent schedule. Special schedule kind of has the same effect, but it's a monster reborn. So you target 1 machine monster graveyard, 3,000 more attack, you bring it back in defense position. So this is great for your Gustav Max. If the summon's not negated, you bring Gustav Max, and then I'll talk about that more in a second. And if this set card is sent for the graveyard, you target 1 level 10 machine monster graveyard, add that target to hand. So if you open multiples of these, or you can't play it, and you end up with Snowplow Russell in your hand, you can actually set these, and then, or you would only want to set 1 of each, and then when your opponent goes to attack you, summon Snowplow Russell Hustle, and then it will pop these 2, and then you get 1 from the graveyard, and then 1 from the deck. So that's always fun. Revolving Switchyard. You have to play this fill spell in this deck. This fill spell is for this deck. You can do 1 or 2 things. It has a turn 1 play, and then it has every other turn play. The turn 1 play is if a level 10 or machine monster is normal or special summoned, except for during the damage step, you can activate this effect. Your opponent takes no battle damage for the rest of the turn, even if the card leaves the field. Also, special 1 level 4 machine type monster with 1,800 or more attack from the deck, and if you do, it becomes level 10. It has a second effect where you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, add a level 10 machine monster from your deck to your hand, and you can only use 1 revolving switchyard effect per turn, only once that turn. So, going first, you want to get out either Railcar or that, or the other one that gives the extra 800 attack, just to give it a little defense. And it's just cute. It's one of the cards that you could possibly take out for anything else. And then for the rest of it, you want to get your trains to the graveyard, because with urgent scheduling and everything like that, getting that train that you can't just summon Russell Hustle, you can send that to the graveyard, and then get something that can be special, like Bullet Train, out from the deck, and then play special schedule and bring it back, and then you can make plays from your extra deck. 3 limited removals. This literally can be called by the grave. It's just they're all machines, and it's for the OTK. some of the OTK that this deck can do on its own are ridiculous, so you don't need limited removal. Again, this is a fun build, so you could take those 3 out and put in 3 Twin Twister or 3 Call by the Grave, because hand traps really do hurt this deck. Effect Veiler hurts this deck. Ghost Ogre hurts this deck when you activate effects. So you want to be vigilant. You can play through Ash. You can, but you're going to have a hard time. 2, Terraforming. There's only really 2 of in the deck besides the limited Monster Reborn. 2 Desires, because I like 2 Desires. Here's another card you can kind of cut. So as you're making your plays, what this old card does is you target 1 face-up, level 7 or higher monster you control. The level of all other face-up monsters you currently control become that level of that monster till the end phase. So sometimes when you're making your plays and you play Urgent Schedule and you get your monsters out, or say you special Cyber Dragon and you have this card, then you normal summon a train, and then you activate Urgent Scheduling, and there's no way for you to get that level 4 boosted up into a 10 to make rank 10 trains, then yeah, you just play this and then boom, and then Monster Reborn, and then Skill Drain. So that's it for the deck. It's actually a 40 card deck. I know, Ant-Man Aimless 6 actually made a 40 card deck. Now, when my camera messed up, I pulled something for the extra deck. This is not a complete extra deck, so I'm just going to show you some stuff you can run. So, you really only want to play 2, if anything. You only should ever really summon 1. So this is the new Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Juggernaut Libli. So, essentially, you're going to play Gustav Max. Gustav Max, you're going to burn for 2,000. Then, you're going to rank up into him. And what he says is, once per turn, you can also exceed summon this card by using one rank 10 machine exceed monster controls material. Transfer materials to this card. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card against 2,000 attack and defense. Also, for the rest of the turn, you can only declare attack with this card. During each battle phase, this card can make attacks on monsters up to the number of exceed materials it has plus 1. So, you don't necessarily have to burn with Gustav Max when you're going into this. So with Gustav Max and this, you're going to have 3 materials. You're going to detach 1, so it's going to be able to attack 3 times. Even with that, if you do burn with Gustav Max, you'll be able to attack for 2 times. And at 6,000, whatever you're hitting, you should OTK. That's another reason why you're playing 3 limited removal, because you want to limited removal this, because it will be at 12k. And I'm sorry, but whatever you're hitting at with 12k and then attacking twice, you should be winning. Also, Barrel Sword can't be destroyed by battle. Yeah. So you just attack this and boom, boom goes the dynamite. And I know. Barrel Sword can be like, yeah. Sorry guys, I'm tired. Forgive me. One big Robo Boy. This is your Harpy Feather Duster. And your opponent cannot respond to this. 5,000 attack. One of the cute plays you can make with this is you summon the trolley and you make it a level 10, and then you get out the other 2 monsters, and then you go into this and he'll be at 5,800, and then you just wipe your opponent's board. So they're going to have a fun time getting over something that's 5,800. Yeah, 5,800. So one of the link monsters of 2 is Quillforth Genius. So it's 2 machine monsters. You play a whole deck of machines. But the interesting fact is the fact that when 2 monsters are special summoned at the same time the zone discard point to, you can add 1 level 5 machine monster from your deck to your hand. So Urgent Schedule says that your opponent has control more monsters than you. So if they got 2 monsters, you summon 2 monsters, you make this, then you play Urgent Schedule, you get 2 monsters summoned to the scale here, and then you're able to add a level 10 machine to your hand. The other thing about it is you can then take the level 4 machine you special off of Urgent Schedule, and turn this into a Summon Sorceress. I actually misplaced my Summon Sorceress, so that's why it's not in this deck profile, but you would definitely run Summon Sorceress, because you gotta understand you are OTKing with your Exceed monsters. Your spells and some of your effects will only allow you to attack with Machine or Exceed monsters, and so it's really all about doing your max effort. There are plays, there are ways, if your opponent don't has anything, you end up with Summon Sorceress and 2 Jubilees. But the only way you end up with 2 Jubilees is if you're going first, because you set up a board with a Jubilee, and you leave it there, and then you also have Gustav Max, and the next turn you can just slap another one over Gustav Max, and you should be able to win, because you don't have to use the effect, so you'll have 2 4,000 beaters that will be able to attack. But you're really only going to need to do 1. But this right here could essentially allow you to make 2 Gustav Max burn for 4,000, because it's not limited to once per turn. So yeah, you play the Summon Sorceress, and then you play the 2 Cyber End, you play the 1 Chimera Tech. You can actually bump it up to another. You can run number 81. The other card I like to run, because there will be some times where you could possibly get the 2 level, your level 4s out, is you can make this, and then this just allows you to go into more rank 10s. Because at the end of the battle phase, if this card destroys a opponent monster by battle, you special summon from your extra deck 1 rank 10 or higher machine type monster using this phase of card you control as material. This is treated as an exceed summon and transfer materials. So since it says higher, you can actually go this higher into Jubilee. Or Juggernaut Libli. Sorry, I know I pronounced that wrong. So yeah, I got this card specifically for this deck. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. I'm sorry that I was a little sporadic. Filming this in the middle of the night is the only time I got time to film. I'll be doing more deck profiles, getting more deck profiles, everything like that. Like this video. If I get 5 likes, I will do a train tutorial where I'll show like some of the nutty, if your opponent has no responses, some of the nutty first board or second turn things that this deck can do. So anyway, guys, hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to thumbs it up. 5 likes, I'll do that. And this is the one ending with 6. There's always been a make, and until next time, YouTube, deuces.